Welcome, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans, to the Duckling Derby Boot Camp. My name is Fabian Hawk. With me in the booth today is Classic Gamer 76 with our tracker duo of Maple and Ghost Pirates. Classic Gamer, what are we looking at? These parties and blessings before we get into the flags we are running.
Alright, well, let's see. The fighter looks pretty good to start with, plus 40 HP and resists death, poison, and status with 10 MDEF, but then you lose minus 10 hit percent. But we see some of our runners are taking fighters. The thief has equipped shield, teleport magic, and hurt all at the malice of minus 20 agility, so it won't be quite as agile as usual. The black belt, I don't see anyone on stream with one, but has plus 25 agility, plus thief swords, and self magic, and a malice of minus 10 MDEF, and that's of course pretty important for black belts. The red mage, which we're seeing one of on stream, has plus 20 vitality, plus 10 strength, and improved cat claw. So we find a blessed cat claw that'll be really effective. The malice will be minus 30 hit points, so it'll be even squishier than usual earlier. The white mage has plus legendary swords, plus heal 2, and plus red mage armor, so the white mage is actually a little better at melee than usual, and the malice of minus 10 agility on a class that really wasn't great to run to start with. The black mage has a bonus of elemental plus magic, plus 20 hit percent, which doesn't usually mean much, and hurt undead at a malice of minus 1 MDEF per level.
Well, that black mage looks a little squishy because of that lack of MDEF, but the extra elemental damage, it totally makes sense why we'd see someone down like Fryeteeth going with 2 black mages and a white and a thief. The thief especially valuable because, like with previous seeds, we are running with lockpicking enabled, so given the fact this is a all-loose seed, no incentive item location set, having that lockpicking could save so much time.
And it looks like we're off, so we have our... Let's go in, let's see what we have at level 1 magic. And that is life 2, that is going to be Knight and Red Wizard learnable.
And the floater is in the Titan's Trove. That is extremely good information to know. And then we have Temper and Brack and Fire 2 in black.
Yep, level 1 and hold if they want to take on carry, but you'll want Fire 2 for the early sweeper, I'm sure.
Interesting to know that the Titan's Trove is obviously locked away from us by the shipping canal, so we will not be getting that floater super early.
So no Jetsy, we have Irby B heading up in the direction of, Temple of Fiends. And Deadpulse is already there.
Deadpulse, of course, known to be one of the fastest runners in the community.
Yes, he won our recent winter tournament, so...
A little bit of divergence. Ravioli 500 in the upper right corner is taking a quick run up to Matoya's cave to check those boxes early, rather than going for Toph and getting the loot, evidently, from that top left box in Toph.
Yep, and Ravioli actually has a few issues with ogres and creeps giving him the business.
Well, as he makes his run back up to try and get to Matoya's, we have all 3 other racers on stream fighting or defeating a Garland, getting an Ice +1 and a Power Bonk. This is a pretty good kick from the Royals.
Yep, just because they're not incentivized doesn't mean they won't necessarily give good items. Ice
that
+1
is ship out of Matoya. Oh. That is a huge item to find early.
Yes, so, that Ravioli taking the what the others did, and then that, could turn out pretty well for men.
Now, I half expect a good chunk of our runners to make that jaunt up to Matoya instead of going straight to Provoca, but it looks like Deadpulse is going straight for Provoca, where Fryeteeth is going to Matoya up front.
Right, and
Ravioli also going to Provoca rather than going to to deal with Garland, so bypassing Garland altogether at the moment.
I mean, since they aren't incentivized, of course we know you have the Power Bonk and an Ice +1 sword, but I can understand the play.
As well as that loot, so hopefully he does think to check those boxes early. They are available.
Yes, because otherwise you could be searching the whole world for that loot. That's actually a little trolley of the seed right there, and a canal from Vicky.
Wow, this is almost jetty if we just find some loose ruby. Now, because this is an oops all loose seed, there is actually no store item. That item is shuffled into boxes around the world, or incentive givers who can still give incentives, just not guaranteed.
And of course, as you've seen, they can get some good items from them as well, and the cube is on floor 6 of the Sea Shrine. And there's Life 1 at level 2.
Recovery magic is a thing, and it's available. Ice 3, one of the best elemental spells available. Level 2 black.
Yes, I mean, for something that's weak against ice, it will actually do the most damage of any spell you can cast in the game, slightly more than Nuke.
Obviously not that effective against undead and other things that don't get dealt damage by ice that much, but hey, there's other elemental spells. And in the case of at least one of our classes, the Black Mage, it already has high-end elemental sweepers across the board.
That's true. Let's see if the runners remember that, because I know when I end up with those spell bonuses, I have a tendency to forget about them. Well, Fryteeth remembered that his white mage had warp. Or was that the red mage that had that? Someone had that.
That is the thief with teleport magic.
Ah, that's right. Because with those bonuses, it can be any class.
That thief truly is a ninja, whether he has the blursing or not. Just stealth maneuvers. And more divergence, we have a Fryteeth down checking Elfland and heading towards Marsh, it seems, as Ravioli has made it onto the Melman continent, is going towards Earth, it seems, because there is a good number of chests that you can get to in Earth 1, 2, and 3.
Yes,
Not
and
the
plus
highest
you
density,
have
but there's multiple spike tiles as well.
Yes, I was just going to say there are multiple spike tiles. You might find something that he can grind on and get a few early levels. We have Irby B picking up his ship from Matoyas. He's going to be glad to see that. At level 3, Wall, Fade, and Cure 4.
What magic have we wrought to these racers? As Deadpool's is checking out those spells, that spike tile Ravioli found in Earth is one of the better early spike tiles. The Undead pack, as long as none of these creatures roll something really broken, that is a lot of early experience that can get that 15 fast for that thief to get lockpicking up. Already level 10 across his 3-man party.
Yes, and Ravioli is going to take that grind. I like this because he's going to get, good experience. That's a great full party grind. Meanwhile, Deadpulse finds something in a Were Sword and Dwarves and is like, no thanks.
Totally resets out of it. Ravioli losing that thief, trying to keep his party up because he wants to be able to revive the thief, but there goes the white mage. He does have access to life and life 2 in battle, but getting those kills, getting out of there and be able to revive out of battle, better out. In fact, I am worried right now. He really should use those life casts if he has them sooner than later.
Yes, the question is, does he have them, is a good question. Yep, now he remembers.
Stacking cabins, getting the recovery. Doesn't get extra MP, but does get the levels that he got and the XP that he got and saves them in the process.
And meanwhile, we have Deadpulse heading out of the Inner Sea, going to check out the Melman continent itself, and we have the
Boxiel and Corneria locked.
And the key is on floor 2 of Mirage Tower, which, okay, that's nice. Once these hit level 15, we're not going to care.
Who needs to go to greater than less than?
Well, the flags hit like this with Oops All Loose, I might still want to check that room, depending on what I had at the time.
The number of times I've found multiple items back to back, even in the same room. In fact, I remember for the seed demo race yesterday, we found 2 items in the Agama floor in chests directly across from each other.
And a Sun -1 sword in the chest, that's not a bad weapon, especially early on for a fighter or a red mage.
Very true. That does crit damage to most of the fiends.
Yes, and especially all the undead in Earth and March will also be susceptible to that.
We get a look at the herb tournament. It actually is an incentive item. It is the slab for Fryteeth.
and the bottle in the Earth Cave. So once we get that airship and we know where it is, we just need to have the items to get there, we'll be able to turn that in, as well as that slab. And level 3 Black Magic, I saw Saber, Fast, Lock, and Bane. So that's really great for the ninja, especially.
The vast majority of the combat utility Black Magic is basically covered right there. Fast and Temper across levels 1 and 3, and a Ruse Stick coming out of the Marsh Top for Herbie B. That is an excellent item to find for evasion for that thief or any member of the party, for that matter.
And there's Warp available at level 4, as well as I believe I also saw Ruse at level 4.
And Flame Armor -1 for Dead Pulse and Earth 2. Not something he's going to mind seeing. That's good armor for the Knight and better armor for the Ninja once promoted. Had a White Shirt. Excellent equipment across the board coming out of this dive into Earth.
Yes, and not only is that good for your White Mage on promotion, but of course free and Viz 2 class are always welcome.
It is the second of the 3 parts of the panoply, the Ruse Stick, the White Shirt, and the Defense Sword, all casting Ruse and or in Viz 2.
Herbie
Right Teeth also doing the reset out of Dwarves, not finding anything there.
Yep. And Herbie B, we realized that one chest was linked when he got into the one he got in the first chest, and we have Dragon -2 armor in the normal Marsh incentive chest. That's not too bad once you get promotion.
Gaining all those elemental defenses supplements the lack of a ribbon if you put it on that Knight for sure. And that is a slab translated for Freiteeth.
And the herb was in Mario Marsh Cave all along.
Which will be turned into the slab once Herbie gets there. Now, Dead Pulse does not have the rod, so he will not be able to go any further than dealing with this vampire, but I do believe we have it set that Sarda is not available without the vampire killed, or was that the seeds earlier this week?
I know that was the case in other seeds. I don't remember this one in particular, and of course, with Oops All Loose, you could always end up with the legendary rod in the vampire's chest.
Very true, he was just guarding the key.
Freiteeth grabbing his bottle out of Earth. And our tracker Maple says early Sarda is enabled, but of course we still need the ruby to get there. Here's an interesting question. You get that ruby, the floater is there. Do you just turn that in and fly back to Sarda?
Technically, that is faster, being able to run back, because you have to run and get the floater anyways. It's a very short flight, relatively speaking, from the desert to Sarda's cave.
Yeah, so we had the TNT in the vampire's chest, so it would be pretty funny if this leads directly to the rod.
It will also be interesting to see if Dead Pulse's Thief has the level 15 required to get the key or lockpicking enabled so he can deal with the Dwarfen Armory, see if something's in those chests while he's there.
And I saw Jerkbirds being jerks with Ice 2, and Wizard Memories have Scorch, which fortunately isn't too bad because it's been a nice early grind for several of our runners.
It isn't cremate, that's what matters. But it is an excellent experience if you've got the ability to survive it, which Ravioli is exploiting here, especially when you get 4 of those Wiz Mummies. That is a lot of experience just with those 4.
And those also have a coral sword being pulled out beside that White Shirt. That's a pretty good weapon for the thief, and we'll actually get nice elemental bonuses against a certain fiend.
Ravioli not healing up after running away from those Wiz Mummies. The thief, but he is able to use that life to in battle to get it back up.
Let's see what we have in... Oh, we're not going to see what we have in level 6 magic. And Ravioli grabs his TNT.
Yep, the loot and Toph, and the ruby comes out of Sages, so that is a long way away from Sarda's cave, but that is the next stop almost certainly for Deadpool's, knowing that he has access to the airship at that point.
Yes, that's going to be a long way there and a long way back. Meanwhile, Ravioli, I don't think he... Well, he's a thief, I believe it was, that had teleport magic, so he's still walking out. Either he used it up or he forgot that he had those extra spells.
Very true. He's either... Yeah, I think at this point he's probably forgotten because I didn't see him using warp at all. He's been running in and out when he was doing his grinds and fetch. And level 6 Black Magic has Ice 2 Zap and... let's see. Let's see, Heal 3, A for Harm 4, and Invis for white, and then Ice 2, Blind, Zap, and Stop for black.
Yep. I mean, Ice 2, Zap, and Stop aren't bad unless you have, you know, Power Word at a high level, a very high level Quad X, and I don't think we've seen that yet. And, you know, Enhanced Darkness, Blind usually isn't that useful.
Deadpool's using the trick. He's saved right outside Titan's Tunnel. He's just going to check what Sarda has. If Sarda doesn't have anything, he's just going to reset, go back in, get the ruby, and go.
Yeah, and Sarda just has a little cash.
Yeah, as long as if there's no... Oh, and the rod was there alongside the floater. As I said, back-to-back chests. Feels bad to have already gone through Earth all the way down to get that TNT, but at least he knows where he's going next. He's not going to go back to Melman Continent ever if he can avoid it.
Yes, I mean, I certainly wouldn't ever come back here if I could avoid it.
And for all we know, there could be another item in the armory or the closet as well on a floor beneath the block.
Yep, that is quite true. You know, that's one of the fun things about Oops All Loose is you just never know where things are going to be, and it's pretty funny when they end up in some incentive location anyway.
And Ravioli is back to the grind, really wants to get that Thief lockpick online. I believe he's at level 14 for the Red Mage. I don't know about the Thief, though.
Maybe we'll see after this battle if the Thief survives it, of course. The White Mage, who's the one who has life 2, is currently taking a nap, as Red Mage has life 1. I noticed one thing in Ravioli's spell list that I liked. He got A-Rub, which, you know, there's that protect against death, which a program can give you, but it also protects against status and earth, which I don't think is...
Lazy dwarfs and Oops All Loose. Oh my word.
Just because they're all loose doesn't mean the doors can't be lazy, and I like that Fry Teeth warped out and then went back in and got the crystal from Smithy.
What is this randomness? Incentive givers aren't supposed to always give incentive items.
No, Kirby B's grabbed his, you know, goodies out of the Titan's Trove, and he's probably going to be headed, you know, right over to get his airship as soon as he can.
And speaking of goodies, Deadpool's out of that armory in Earth, pulling a vanilla ribbon. Excellent value.
Yes. Ribbon -9 is the best armor in the game, so vanilla ribbon is also the best armor in the game.
As he goes down to check that Lich Closet, there it is, the tail is behind the crystal, so that's TNT to tail, essentially. Which is
that
good
means, of course,
value
I haven't...
when this thief main is going to be most people's melee.
Yes, didn't have to... Oh, there's a canoe down in Lich's closet. Two other items right beside each other.
Random would be weird sometimes. Our first check into those treasure chests in Dwarves, nothing so far.
And there's another sun -1, but surely we'll find something better. It'll be interesting to see with the White Mage having legendary weapons. If they find something like an X-Cal, that'll be useful even if they don't have a fighter or even before promotion.
You know, I just realized as Deadpool's pulled that canoe, he would have needed to find the canoe. He needed to find the canoe to be able to get the floater, active, so, well, one continent dive got him the floater and the canoe.
Yep, and meanwhile, Blinken, you missed it. Deadpulse was out of Earth with an, Earth orbit blip. I think he rolled over some small speed bump on the way.
I mean, I was seeing some blurs, but he's so fast, it could just be a remnant of my eyes looking at the screen. And Ravioli, our first runner to get into Cardia, to get the Oxyale that was locked up.
Yep, actually you mean Canaria there, but now he has the Axial, so he'll have access to Sea Shrine. There's a lot of chests in there. You'll be definitely seeing some plays that you don't normally see runners make. I mean, often you'll see them skip Lich's Closet, and be a good idea to check it this time, we know that.
And Deadpulse did do a quick check-in with the crown and found nothing, reset right out of it. Astos is going to be left alone, as he is up in the air in under 19 minutes in an oops all loose. This is crazy. And the bottle in hand, so that direct jaunt down to Gaia, very good timing. And that is a, oh wow, I am wrong. That is a chime in the shop.
Yep, and the which in Gaia tells us where the ruby is, but we had to get the ruby to get there. So, and the fairy handing out the big money, 373 gold.
Well, repaying your kindness. But we know where the key is, and that is in Sky, and I would not be shocked to see Deadpulse going to Sky. Whether or not he wants the key, because he has the thief, that is more chests to check, and he needs the cube to finish the dive and actually get into Sky, which he does not have.
Yep, of course. I don't know if we've seen the hint givers tell us where the cube is. I don't think so. Oh, another power bonk. That's very nice to see, but of course there's always a legendary, cube in greater than less than. Perhaps right beside the key. I wouldn't be...
Chimeras with poison abilities, aka punch and then kill and kill and kill.
Chimeras are great experience, but they can hit pretty hard. And these appear to be pretty beefy, too.
At this point, we know where the Oxale is, we have the chime, so it is literally just the cube in the case of Deadpulse that is missing to be in go mode, which is just that crazy.
Yep. I mean, he is, like you said, a very fast racer, but let me tell you, some of these ducks are getting scary good, scary fast.
Did I just see a ribbon coming out of Elf Treasury? Yes, I did.
That's
so
another place.
A ribbon in the 4-pack in Elfland Castle, and one in Earth as well, Armory.
Yep, and that's a place, especially if brothers are happy with their gear, they may not check because there are only 4 chests in there. And Deadpulse is looking for something that's probably not just that key. Let's see what he finds.
Well, the key is not really useful with the lockpicking, but it is another 10% experience gain, which will stack up fast, which be depending on which character, if not multiple, he wants to take up to be his primary melee character. He has 2 power bonks, so both the thief and the knight will be able to, or the warrior will be able to get that buff without having to use some casting spells.
Yep, and other than the key, greater than less than had some gold and some Zeus bonks, which gold is still useful.
Deadpulse saving up in Canaria, going to get his Oxyale. Has yet to do the elf turn-in chain, or the dwarf turn-in chain to get that tail, which I would have no doubt he will go straight to Cardia to get promoted once he has. Not only because he wants to be promoted, but there's a lot of chests to check there.
And Ravioli checks Marsh Top and gets rewarded with a Rue Stick. And one thing I'm lucky I see Ravioli's doing, he's taking those free steps, on the row of tiles right above the doors. He does not increment the encounter table.
As Frighty getting that crown out of the Lich's bedroom, we get the adamant for Lazy Doors for Deadpulse.
Yep, he's going to check out Dwarf's Armory, which of course does not have too... Wait, did I see an opal... Cheerio there? It was -3, but that's still going to be pretty good armor for your mages.
As we have a speed bump of sorts on Fryteeth's side, Ravioli getting through the marsh bottom, having gone to marsh top, and Herbie B on his way down to deal with that speed bump eventually.
Yep, of course. And Fryteeth is already over the speed bump, lighting his Earth orb, so that's the second orb at under 24 minutes. Second orb between all the runners, that is.
I mean, for an Oops All Loose, that's actually pretty dang fast. You could see people getting into dungeon diving and actual fiend slaughtering in post 40 minutes, depending on how the looses ring out.
And we have Oron in chats saying, hoping for Cube and Mermaids. That would be delightfully trolly.
The best part would be if it was in Bubbles' chests.
Absolutely. I mean, that mermaid's been known to hide some good stuff in her chest. I mean, I think I remember one seed I saw one time with a katana and a masa in there. That says it all.
Then Ravioli finishing that dive into Marsh Bottom, warping all the way out as Fryteeth finds that chime. Now I am shocked. I really thought that the shop item would not be available in Oops All Loose, but it seems like it is.
And of course he also gets a little money back from the ferry after spending a good chunk of his money on that chime.
And with that tail in the air, going to promote and likely to go to check those 3 treasure troves as Deadpool picks up his own tail.
So, Fryteeth will be the first runner to promote, at least on stream. I am so used to seeing the Dragon's Horde. It's kind of unusual not seeing Bahamut with a bunch of chests behind him.
And not too far behind is Deadpulse as Fryteeth begins the process of fetching items out of treasure troves. Looking to find that katana or masa. I mean, there could actually be multiple masa in this seed. That is an ice +5, and that is an excellent shield for that thief.
Yes,
or ninja.
Thieves, knights, I should say ninjas, knights will really benefit from that shield. I mean, depending on what the Opal and Aegis rolled, might be using that the rest of the game.
Sad to not have the knight to be able to use that dragon armor, but that is a very well-equipped ninja.
And
as Ravioli is on his way up to get the crystal turn in for the tail, Fryteeth is joined by Deadpulse in the search for items.
Checking out Cardiz really gets his tail. RBB, meanwhile, is leaving the inner sea. Well, he's probably heading on. He's heading on over to, of course, turn in his ruby. Doesn't have the canoe yet, though. Oh, he's actually going to go into Earth, so he'll pick up his canoe.
That was ice armor +5 out of Cardia Forest. Excellent elemental gear equipped by the knight or the ninja.
Yes, if I have enough ribbons, I'm tempted to use that over the dragon armor because, it'll give better defense, less evasion penalty, and we have Fryteeth going into Earth. Going to clear out the chest there, going to clear out the carry there.
Fryteeth in Volcano looking through armory as Deadpulse makes his way to Gaia, to Lefane, pardon me, to the superstore to pick up magic on his knight and his ninja most likely. I don't think he has the herb turned in for the slab, so that hasn't been translated. He doesn't have any other reason to be here.
Yep, but it'll still save some time over going over the shops, because now he can get, magic for the knight and ninja. He can pick up things like a level 6 heal 3 for the white wizard as well.
And for Fryteeth, or more specifically for anyone who actually has a knight to use it, finding the X-Cal +5, and actually now that I think about it, he has that white ninja, because that white mage can run a legendary sword. He has a X-Cal +5 on that white mage if he wants to use it.
Yep, white knight strats. That would be very effective because, you know, X-Cal gets an elemental bonus against just about anything that isn't chaos, and a few other things, but and +5, that's going to be really effective. You can save some white charges on that white mage and get some effective melee even.
And magic equipped, Deadpulse warps out, saves up, and leaves. Now, where do you think Deadpulse will go from here? He has plenty of options, and is only looking for a cube.
Let's see, well, it doesn't look like he's checked out Gaia yet, so he might go there to see what he gets, and he would need the chime, at least according to the
He was
tracker.
the first one to go to Gaia, so he actually does have the chime.
Okay.
He checked out. I'm thinking he's going to go Volcano into Ice, because he has good chest density in Volcano, as well as reasonable chest density in Ice, plus several spike tiles he can find if he wants to get some experience built up fast. Although Deadpulse, the way he races, he tends to go for a walking grind if he can avoid staying in one place too long.
I think he will, and it looks like Cracker's going to say make the Volcano play, and of course, if he still doesn't get the cube, Ice is the proximity play, so that is a good play right there. Of course, we could also have the cube loose in Ordeals.
Everyone loves a good Ordeals.
Of course, the best Ordeals is the one you don't have to go to.
True. Second to that would be an Ordeals where the first pillar takes you to the 4-pillar room, and the first pillar in the 4-pillar room takes you to the end.
Alright, we have Fryteeth taking on Carry Ninja Swings, of course, before the fast comes out, and I like this. He fast on the white mage, and she attacks with that X-Cal. 6 hits, 580.
That is one a buff life caster.
Yes.
I missed that before. A gold +1 bracelet coming out of the armory as well in Volcano.
Yep, meanwhile, white wizard swings again. That was something like 480 damage, and Carry 1 is down for Fryteeth, so he is the first runner on stream with 2 orbs lit. And Maple in chat saying was racing to see the other day with like genuinely 6 rune swords. You got to get dual wielding going. Yes, especially for a thief who can, because that rune sword it gets a ton of elemental bonuses, especially against the Topher fiends.
Sadly, to my knowledge, that was introduced with Final Fantasy II.
Lots of things introduced later in the Final Fantasies that our excellent dev team has put into this game. And meanwhile, Irby B, I think there was a purple flash on his screen, and he's exiting Earth with an Earth Orb lit.
Excellent progress on his side as he gets out and leaves the Momicon and never come back again if he can avoid it. Whereas Fryteeth is doing that dive in to check the chests in Dwarf Locked, having already been here, just wants to make sure he clears all of his bases before he moves out elsewhere. And Deadpulse, having made his way through the volcano, is on to the kill the carry.
And Fryteeth finds that Opal +3 Cheerio, so he's putting that on, but there's nothing else of note in Dwarf Armory.
Now, of course, Deadpulse did bring a knight to the battle, so he's swinging with that X-Cal on that knight, leaving his white mage to use Fade instead of swinging. Not as effective as a fasted white mage with an X-Cal, but hey, it's more damage.
And of course, if he finds 2 katanas or a really blessed Vorpal, he could put that on the white mage.
It's very true. I think Gaia talking about the rod, kind of useless information at that point, but hey, at least it's info.
Right, we have
first chuck
Fryteeth.
into Honorak content from Fryteeth.
Yep, first runner on stream to head here, so we'll see what's in Onrak, which I think we actually would know by now, but still remember from the Superstore.
And here we go, we have Deadpulse following him up. Deadpulse on the heels of Fryteeth, it seems.
Seems like it. And Teeth is heading in to see. Let's see, is he going to go straight to kill Kraken, or is he going to check some chests first? He's going straight to kill Kraken.
Kill the Kraken, check the chests along the way, tends to be the most efficient, especially when you're close to go mode. As much as we love carbonating some bubbles, she is a little far out of the way.
Yep, Irby B is going to get the heal. I think it was a heal pop from Astos, and Irby B's like, no. Yeah. He's going to check Astos' closet. We could see what's in here. I don't think we've seen Astos' closet yet.
No, we did not. I believe Deadpulse checked the Astos, but did not have the levels to unlock to go and check these spike tiles.
Yep, Ravioli feeds Lich some cake, and his Earth Orb lit, so that's all the brothers having their Earth Orb lit at less than 34 minutes in.
Deadpulse checking in the Sharknado 4-pack, finding nothing, warping back out so he can go back around, not having to refight that annoying spike tile in front of those four.
Yes, that warp trip is handy for more than just ice and ordeals.
Ravioli finding the heal pot and leaving Astos be.
And we have an opal shield in one of the chests in Sea Shrine, so, that's good for your night.
Excellent defense and absorb, plus that lightning resistance to go on top of the fire resistance. Although it looks like he's putting that ribbon on the knight as well, so he really wants to keep that big swinger up with that Excal. And the cube is in Sharknado floor, as we've heard from our hint giver. I believe that was in Canaria. Either Canaria or Provoca, if I remember correctly.
Meanwhile, Bright Teeth has also picked up his opal shield, making use of it.
That is go mode, by the way, for both Fright Teeth and Deadpulse. So kill the Kraken, kill the Tia, and go to Topher.
Yep. Of course, I don't remember what War Mech was in this flag set. Is it vanilla?
It is vanilla. Unfortunately, we did not get some fun wandering or unleashed.
Unleashed, you probably would have seen it by now, but I had a seed, I think last week or something, where an Unleashed War Mech, and he didn't appear until the 88th battle.
Fast, which was nice. Swing with the ninja, down goes the white mage, swing goes the knight for 900 plus damage, and fast goes the Kraken. Kill it, kill it, kill it.
Yes, kill it before it kills you, and Kraken gotta wonder if he needs to check what year it is, because he acted like Kraken 2 there, and the good old trolley encounter after Kraken and before the playing the orb.
As Deadpulse makes it out of Sea Shrine with the third orb lit on his way to Mirage Tower and the Sky Palace to slay a dragon, Fright Teeth are right behind him, getting that fight in with Kraken, going with the Ruse Stick, getting the Katana Swing with the White Mage, adding that fast onto the White Mage and the fast onto the Ninja. So he's got evasion, he's got swings, and now he's going with the buffs and tempers, not bothering to cast damage spells because swing is damage enough.
Yep, and he's also not casting Brack, he's just going for the strats, probably figuring his black mages are at risk of dying anyway. And Bright Teeth is through, so his arrow orb is lit. He is on Deadpulse's heels. They're both going to be heading up Mirage now.
As he leaves following Deadpulse to Sky, Herbie B is our third racer getting into Sea Shrine. As
and of course, he hasn't seen
the Cardia raids.
Of course, Ravioli has not seen the loot yet, so he might check a few more chests and see, not thinking to go back and check, the loot right near where it's needed in the Temple of Fiends. But right now he is going to go.
Now it is interesting seeing Fright Teeth searching chests. He doesn't need the key. He has the lockpicking. He's actually in go mode. He is just looking for gear, it seems, and finding that power bonk. Not too bad. He now has a power bonk for his white warrior, but not necessary.
Yep, and of course, what we're saying could be a common encounter on the bridge of the bridge if we are lucky, yes, and if we're really lucky we can get 2 or 3. Sometimes the encounter table does that for us. We will find out shortly as Dead Pulse is already up to Sky 4.
Well, the Bridge of Destiny awaits. After he gets through some whiz vampires.
I really do checking the hint camper because he still wants to know where that loot is. I mean, skipping Topher's chest, or the Toph chest, I should say, is not a bad play, but he does not realize it's costing him the loot. But he is finding a Pro Cape, +4.
Good defensive gear for those casters that cannot normally use shields.
Meanwhile, we just have some errors on the Bridge of Destiny so far.
And Herbie with that cube is now in go mode, although I do not know if he's been to pop the bottle in Gaia. Once he does that, he will be in go mode if he has not already.
Yep. Well, he goes to Gaia. The worst thing that happens is he looks in the store and finds the chime, and he might even skip the ferry.
And he would be right to, because she is a cheap person.
Yes, I mean, let her out of the bottle and only gives a little bit of money. That Harry's not too generous this evening, and no robot chickens on Dead Pulse's side, but we do have a Tiamat.
And an extra white shirt coming out of Cece's Gambit.
That is, an improved Traptile treasure, so that off-chest will often have good stuff in it. And Dead Pulse is through Tia, so he's going to have all 4 of his orbs lit and will be in the Topher shortly.
Giggity giggity go mode for Dead Pulse. I am sorry. I don't know why I did that.
Yeah. Alright. Order on the chat saying Irby might do mermaids not having the Gaia knowledge. That is true. He might. Of course, sometimes you could find something like an extra ribbon or a masa that helps him out. But anyway, we have Dead Pulse in the Topher at just before the 40-minute mark.
What is this? A normal seed?
Well, Dead Pulse could make seeds that might be slow for others look normal speed. Or even fast sometimes. 3B, Bracken the Kraken, so he will light his second orb.
Dead Pulse so far ahead, he is validating the run, getting those 2 chests there.
It never hurts to check those. You might find, a masa, a ribbon, or something in there.
And Ravioli taking down Kraken, or going on Kraken. Herbie B having killed Kraken. Tia on Fireteeth, or Fryeteeth's side. Once Fryeteeth is through there, he will also be heading to Topher. Getting those power bunks out, getting the fast cast out on both of his melees. Slow coming off, not affecting the White Mage, which is
it
probably
did affect the
most
ninja.
damage.
Of course, fast will actually undo that, but he won't be fasted.
Well, there's a fast and a temper active on that White Mage now, and the dark did not affect it, so his accuracy has not dropped. 8 hits for plus damage, and 6 hits for even more damage. That is a kill Tia, as we have a Speed Bump Mark II on Dead Pulse back 2,000 years in the past.
Yep. And Speed Bump Mark II is not down yet. Did I see 6 gold from out of the Lefanian? You thought that fairy was cheap.
51 gold. That is...
Oh, 51.
They're poor reclusive people. They don't have any gold.
Yep, or anything else for that matter. It's like, you've got the superstore. Here's a little bit of money to buy a level 1 spell.
Here's some knowledge that we have. That's basically all we can give you.
Alright, and Fryeteeth is entered Topher at just below the 42-minute mark.
Still an excellent pace as we get the Carry 2 fight on Dead Pulse's side. Fast coming out on the Knight, focusing that as the primary swinger with that XL plus 5. Totally reasonable, and that is a kill with a swing and a fade.
Yeah, so Carry 2 rolled low, but of course now we still have the first real potential gatekeeper of Kraken 2 coming up.
Given how lethal Kraken was 2,000 years in the future, how more lethal Kraken will be when she was in her prime, let us find out. Fast going out, not going out before the swing, fade coming out of the White Mage. swing, or fast going down on that knight, and a swing coming out of the thief to sleep only to 5 hits, and then zaps to death. No more thief, no more black mage. Thankfully, the fast came out of that black mage, so the knight is swinging double hits, getting another fade, getting a kill on Kraken, 5 hits, 940 plus damage, and the ability to resurrect that party with life and life 2 available.
Yep, Kraken killed everyone but the life casters. Meanwhile, we have Fryeteeth rolling over a speed bump 2. We have Ravioli and Mirage. Harry B is just leaving Lefane, finding out how cheap the Lefanians are.
As Dead Pulse begins the prep for Tia 2. Temper from the ninja, fast going out from the black mage, on to the knight, and then another fade from the white mage, sticking with that simple damage caster, and hey, Kraken didn't do it, but Tia 2 did. Goes for the white mage, goes for the swing, 5 damage, 500 plus damage, or 5 hits, 5 plus damage. Another temper coming out from both the ninja and the black mage onto that knight. Knight getting hit for a few hits, or a little bit of damage, but 7 hits, 800 plus damage out, and there goes Tia 2.
Now, I don't think we've seen a Masa or a Vorpal or anything like that, so, it's interesting to see what Dead Pulse uses for Chaos. Of course, I'm pretty sure, Excal plus 5 certainly isn't bad. Doesn't have the crit of some of those weapons, but, it's still a pretty strong weapon. Dead Pulse isn't even jiggling his weapons. He's white shirt fast. The attack for the fast, of course. Ooh, that was not much damage.
So you definitely want to get that fast off, and that temper came after the swing, unfortunately. Going to go with more temper, going to go with swing, going to go with more evasion and more temper, not bothering to try and power bonk on that knight, even if he has it. He just wants to get the swings in.
Yep, get the swings in, let the others do the buffs.
This time the buffs came out first. That is 7 hits for 512, substantially improved over that first swing. Getting some cures from the white mage on the white mage to try and keep it up. Quad X not doing anything to that knight.
Yep, knight swings
more buffs,
again.
More swings,
Woohoo.
800 damage out of 6 swings. And that is wait, swing, wait, going for the kill mode. 6 hits, 402 damage that time. Not as much, but still enough, hopefully, to get the kill. One more swing coming out, 8 hits, 1200 damage. Down goes Chaos. That is GG's in the chat for Dead Pulse. Not only our first on stream, but our first overall on the race tonight.
All right, yes, he has an official racetime.gg time as 45 minutes, 15 seconds. That is just blazing fast.
And as Dead Pulse has finished up on his own, Fryeteeth right behind him in Topher, on his way to the Earth floor to try and deal with a Speed Bump Mark II, as Herbie B is taking on Tia back in Sky, and Ravioli is in the Sky Maze on his way to face a Tia as well. Tia goes down for Herbie B. That is his 3rd orblet. Just needs to deal with Volcano, and he will be free.
Yep, and Volcano's very fast with all those lava tiles that don't have the encounters, so Herbie B, unless something goes really strange, should be in Topher in just a few minutes.
Very true. He will miss the Excalibur if he does not go for the loot, though, or for the chests in Armory, though. That is one thing he would be pretty sad not to have.
Yes, but at this point he's going to be go and make it work with what you have.
Indeedly do, and it looks like, yes, he is bypassing the Excalibur. Unfortunate for equipment-wise, but reasonable when it comes to just more levels compensates for less weapons.
Yes. I'm not sure what he's wielding off the top of my head, but you can actually make some of the other weapons work pretty well in Topher, especially if you have a power bonk and enough temper casts.
Carry 2 down on Fryeteeth's side, a Bane from Carry 2, getting rid of one of the Black Mages, but having that White Caster to bring it up with life, and joining us in the booth as Fryeteeth is heading to deal with a Kraken 2 is Dead Pulse, our race winner on stream today.
GG, Dead Pulse.
Oh, thanks. Hello.
You are a speedster, but this really was a pretty dang speedy seed for a randomizer.
Yeah, everything kind of fell into place. I took a gamble early that Marsh wasn't going to be required, and it more or less paid off.
Yep.
Yikes
Meanwhile,
on Seed. Fryteeth losing 3 members to that early zap from Kraken 2. Thankfully, the White Master is alive, and we do have Life 2 on that White Mage to get people back up in match. But he's going white shirt all the way. Nuclear coming out. We did not see that from Kraken 2 when you faced her, Deadpools.
no, Deadpulse killed him too quickly.
Thunder going Power Bunk. This is going solo white ninja struts. What is he even equipped on there?
I'm not sure.
Cal +5, maybe.
Oh, yep.
Yep, white it is white.
White Knight.
Knight. And effective. That is a White Knight kill on Kraken 2.
All right. Fryteeth's White Knight avenges all the White Wizards that Kraken 2 has backroad in the past.
And Ravioli did check in that armory, did, I believe, get the X-Cal, so he'll have that available.
And a restreamer Dark Moon and Chaz like, Kraken, chill. Yes, I agree. Meanwhile,
You know,
here's
the
Tia
irony?
2.
The biggest irony is the one who clutched that out was the White Mage against Kraken 2 with
Yes.
melee.
And not just
Irony.
like desperation Silverhammer or Thorhammer strats. That was an X-Cal +5. Doing the business on Kraken 2. Our tracker Ghost Pirates chat was kind of hoping that was White Wizard boxing. Yeah, not this time. It was White Wizard swinging.
I thought you were supposed to be a support mage. Why are you in the front lines, and why do you have such a huge sword? Oh god, no.
Alright, Fryteeth through Tia 2.
And Herbie B is done and through with Volcano, getting some gear, checking for those pro rings that he found in Elfland. So that is Volcano done for Ravioli as well. They are both in go mode, although Ravioli still needs to go back and get that loot, which he does not know is in Toph. But it looks like he might just be going there.
Yeah, he might just be going there. Either he's going to bonk off the loot chest, or he's going to check. I mean, of course, he's checking the key lock first, but he's probably going to realize he didn't check the key unlocked. And meanwhile, looks like Fryteeth found the second white shirt and is using them both against Chaos.
So much evasion gear, so much to use, but the big thing is get the kill out before it has a chance to kill you.
Yep, we have fast going off. The white mage cure 4s herself. Another white shirt.
And Ravioli is checking the unlocked chest, and we'll get the loot and we'll be straight into Topher from here.
That's actually a pretty good play on his part. He didn't take the temptation of mermaids and is finding his loot. And so no one's going to be carbonating bubbles this evening, but
Giving the loot a quick play outside. He had not even... Oh, wow. I did not realize
yeah, he had faded Toph completely. So now he's going to be using that... oh, we have hit bats on. I discovered the Tiamat is pretty boring.
We have that right warrior strat coming up, going after Chaos now. 6 hits, 1,000 damage for Fryteeth. Lit 2 coming out, getting rid of that second black mage. Swing from the ninja, from the white mage. Fire 3 not taking either of them down. 300 damage from the ninja. Another 671 from the white mage. And that is GG for Fryteeth on stream. Coming in second overall as well, with a race time.gg time of exactly 52 minutes.
Yep, that white wizard not only gets the kill on Kraken 2, but gets the kill on Chaos. Meanwhile, Herbie B is now into Topher, heading towards the loot chest. Ravioli is right behind him. Jiggling around his equipment. In fact, Ravioli was right in front of him until he jiggled his equipment around. So this will be an exciting finish between these two ducks who, like I said, were getting pretty good pretty quick.
Both of our on-stream racers, Herbie B and Ravioli, now on to Earth floor to deal with Fiend Fight number 1, or Refight number 1 against that Speed Bump Mark 2.
Yep, Herbie B pulls Lich 2. Hi, Lich.
And we are joined by our runner-up on stream today, Fright Teeth. GG.
Thanks.
So, what did you think when you saw Zap kill 3 of your characters against Kraken 2? Everyone except, ironically, the White Wizard.
That was the moment I knew I'd screwed that fight up, and I, should have white-shirted the first round so that the White Mage didn't get destroyed like it did.
The White Mage managed to pull it off, though. That was a clutch battle.
Yeah, that second one was... That was something, that second Kraken fight.
Yes, that really was something.
It's catharsis for all the White Mages that Kraken has one shot in the past.
Yep. Speaking of which, Ravioli lost his White Wizard against Carrie 2. Carrie 2 can sometimes surprise people with her melee, such as Herbie B's Ninja.
She does have many arms and many swords in them. Or well wielded with them.
Yeah, I kept hoping to find a better weapon for that ninja, but nothing.
Well, no one found anything better, so you were in the same boat as everyone else. Getting that X-Cal to be swung by either the White Mage and or a Knight was basically the best weapon across the board that was found.
Yeah, and since I didn't have a Knight, that wasn't going to be able to do that.
Well, you had a White Mage.
Yeah.
Just as good, but for half the price.
Yeah. So when you both saw the White Mage having legendary swords, what did you think?
Finally, the game is recognizing the supreme power of the White Mage.
Yes.
Well,
And why is what
just
trance?
Well, that leaves just into the question about party selection and blur scenes from each of you. Deadpulse, what incentivized your party selection, or informed your party selection?
Well, the hope was that you were either going to find a decent weapon. Chances are you were going to find either a katana or an X-Cal or the mass immune. So, taking a thief and a fighter are pretty good. If you didn't take the fighter, then, I might have considered taking a black belt just because of the crit rate. But yeah, just, standard old boring party dead pulse. That's what they call me.
Well, your boring parties work pretty well, and we have both of our on-screen runners versus Kraken 2. Let's see how they fare.
Zap missing everyone on Ravioli's side.
And just for me, you've got to take the thief in this flag set with the level 15 lockpicking. I mean, there's no choice on that, and I think everyone knows I like to run black belt, but all loose, it's just too slow to grind it up, and I didn't really like the fighter with that minus hit percent, so I took the chance and ran thief lead, which I never run, so.
Ravioli taking down Kraken as Herbie B, unfortunately, Zap taking out both the Ninja and the Black Mage, getting that Life 2 cast off to bring the Ninja back up that immediately gets punched to death by Kraken. Thankfully, another Life 2 brings the Ninja back up. It gets back into the fight, swings and kills Kraken 2. Both racers, Herbie B and Ravioli, through Kraken 2. Ravioli now on to the Tia fight.
Yep, so we'll see what... Because we have a fast coming out. Rue's coming out on the Right Wizard, and good thing, because Tia's like, Kraken left a life caster alive, I'm going to fix this. And she fixes it before the second ruse can come out. And before the Red Wizard can use the heal potion, so... But After promotion, the Red Wizard does have life too. This Tia is hitting hard. That Bat said she was boring, but I mean, okay, yeah, I guess she's just melee, but oh boy.
This is a big risk. That is only life available or self-survival. Which does he choose? Going to try and life the White Mage to bring it back up. Good pick. Now you can life to that Red Mage or the Ninja. Now that's a question. I don't know. Does the Ninja come back with all the buffs that were previously applied to it or not? Or is that reset by having died?
I'm not sure.
It comes back with it.
Yeah, I could imagine so, because resurrection magic is not vanilla in the game. It would have been something that would have been modded in, so just restoring to a full state with the stats as it was when it died would make more sense in my mind. But hey, that is a swing and a death on Tia, 9,000 plus damage. Ravioli is through the Fiend refights, on his way to Chaos's floor, no encounters left beforehand. As Herbie B right behind him.
Yep. Herbie B has to worm his way past this encounter. And Rebel's pulling Chaos. Very similar strats. Ruse on the White Mage, Ruse stick on the Ninja, and fast on the Ninja. Oh, 54 damage out of Chaos, so he's switching over to the Power Bonk. I like that. White Shirt. And A-Rub to give some of the protections.
Well, we've already seen zap out of one of the Fiends. We always know Chaos could have something else even more deadly. Or just as deadly.
Yes. Yeah, Bane, we've always seen one nuclear. I don't think we've seen the nukes. I don't think we've seen Cure 4.
Getting that swing out of that Ninja did not find a lot of purchase with the blade. Getting more power bunks up, getting more tempers up. And looks like using heal pot strats, not using spells on it. So the ruse seems to have been enough. It evades that hit. Temper goes out again. More temper. More healing. No, fade actually coming out of the White Mage. There you go. 9 hits, 808 damage. 300 plus damage on that fade. And more temper coming out. We have carry fights on, or Chaos fights on both sides. Herbie B in the fight now. Temper going back out. More swings from the Ninja. 1,600 plus damage out of 10 hits. GG Ravioli getting that kill on Chaos for 4th place overall with a racetime.gg time of 1 hour and 4 seconds, right behind Ale Markin off stream at 56.54 for 4th overall.
All right, now Herbie B taking on Chaos, Temper up the Ninja, more White Shirt. Fire 3 out of Chaos. We've seen that from him several times. That's nothing we're particularly worried about. 2 at 74 out of the Knight. That is not good. Yes, we definitely need more Tempers, more White Shirts. Boy, Knight is still not doing a lot. 3 hits, 124 out of the Ninja. We might need more buffing here. The more buffing we get, Temper. Out of Temper charges, so it's...
Going with that last Ice 3 cast from the Elemental Plus casts on level 8 that he got with the Blursing. Did not get much damage out of it. Quad X coming out, doing nothing. Fade coming right back, doing 180 plus damage, getting more casts out. Going heal 3 instead of Fade to get some life back on his party. Definitely helping after that Lit 2 comes out, 47 damage out of that Ice 3, not doing any real damage at all.
Yep, of course.
Swing with the Knight, getting 73 damage. Swing with the Ninja, doing 235. Now, he did not get the X-Cal, or is not on the Knight, so...
Herbie B also hasn't seen any of the bad stuff out of the Fiend, so he's healing up because he knows that it could all be on Chaos.
This is true. We only did see one nuclear come out of any of the Fiends, so... More heals, more Ice 3, and more swing, swing, swing.
Well, he's actually topped off. His levels do not appear to be very high. So one nuclear, and I see one of his conundrums there is that Fade's sharing a spot with thought it would have been serious power with Cure 4 or something critical, so that's why he's not using it.
Yep,
Is
he
that
is
the-
all out of fade casts as well as his harm cast. He is literally letting that white mage to sit idle, not having anything else to do, not trying to use heal pots, not trying to do anything else with items. He is just letting it wait as he swings with the fighter, or with the knight, swings with the thief, and casts with the black mage. Newt coming out, that is... it happened eventually, but still got some fired up and still gets the kill with that last 49 damage. GG to Herbie B, getting in with a race time.gg time of 1 hour 3 minutes. Just behind Jesus the Frog off stream with a 1 hour 56, and that is the end of our race tonight.
Alrighty,
GG
we'll
to
see
all
if
runners.
Ravioli or Herbie B will join us in chat. Oh boy, that was clutch with Herbie B against Chaos, down to his last two characters, but you know, you only need one to win, so two is actually some to spare.
Indeedly-do. And we are joined in the booth by Herbie B. GG.
Hey, thanks.
That was a clutch 46 damage in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't quite have an endgame weapon, but it worked.
Well, the only in-game weapon we saw was an Excal +5 in Volcano Armory, and at that point you were in go, go, go mode, so you didn't check it.
Understandably
Sometimes-
so.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
that probably
sometimes
would
you
have
just
been
gotta make
better.
those work. Yep. When that nuke came out in Chaos, what went through your head?
Oh man, that was rough. You know, I was trying to, I was using up all my heal 2 and heal 3s, and I was just waiting for that to come. And then, I mean, in hindsight, I really should have switched the power bonk over to the ninja. That's something I should have done, but I was very, very nervous.
That's quite understandable. But it worked out in the end, and that's what matters. And you know, pretty good making those non-in-game weapons work, because sometimes you're just not going to find them. And we are joined in the booth by Ravioli, I believe. I heard someone come in.
Indeed, GG Ravioli.
Okay, that might have just been a false
Hey there,
tone
can
or
you hear
something.
me?
Oh, yep, we can hear you.
you're right.
Oh, there
Now.
we go. I was just muted. Hey, GG, everybody.
G.
So what did you feel about the seed? You all got the information of where the floater was early, but you knew you had to get a few items to get to it.
Yeah, I went for lockpick early, and then I realized when the actual key was in Mirage that the key couldn't block the floater. So that was kind of a oopsie. But
We were more
Other
worried
than that,
about you
everything
finding
seemed to-
that loot.
I've never run a seed where I never cleared Garland going into Toph. That was just a complete. I was like, oh my god, I never went here the first time.
Well, it worked out in the end. You basically just routed the last thing you needed till the very end and didn't even need to fight or to save Sarah in the first place.
Yeah, I knew a townsperson gave me the hint that the loot was in Temple of Fiends, but I just can't believe I never went there at the beginning. But that was pretty wild.
Yeah, you were the one, Racer, who did not. But of course, you were the one who pulled the ship first out of Metoya.
Oh, okay.
And you didn't need the loot until the very end anyway. But I believe Sarah had a power bonk. Either she did or the king did. And the other one had an ice sword.
Yeah, it was the King with the Power Bonk and the Ice Sword +1 out of Sarah. So that would be a good starter gear get that you did not get. But either way, well raced, man.
Yep.
I found a power bonk somewhere else. I had one.
Yeah, there were at least 2.
Yeah, that's right. There were 2. Yeah, so yeah, it was a fun seed. But scraped by and Topher. But yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah, you and Irby B were neck and neck going through Topher. It was actually a pretty exciting race, and you didn't see what happened to Fryteeth. Kraken 2 zapped everyone but his White Wizard, who had the XCal +5 because the White Mage had Legendary Swords, and she got revenge for all the White Mages that Kraken 2 has backroad in the past using that XCal.
Nice. I'll have to check that out on the replay.
Definite catharsis moment.
Yes, so I think we're ready for some final thoughts. So, Dead Pulse is our on-stream and overall winner. What did you think?
Well, thanks everyone for coming out to watch and come and do all the race crew with this race. I think that an important takeaway is that in this kind of flag set, you had forward key items. And usually what that means is that your key items are going to be in a sort of ladder where you need to go to the most progressed thing that you can do. And that's likely your progression. And I think that's what led me to save a bunch of time. But thanks everyone for the race. It was a lot of fun. And we'll see you tomorrow for my VOD review.
All right. Fryteeth, second overall. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, same thing. Thanks for the comms and the restreams and the tracking. Just to follow up on what Dead Pulse said, a lot of the same thoughts, and I think this seed is also a great example of, when those hint givers are on, make sure you check them because, boy, they have good information tonight.
They certainly did. Ravioli, what are your thoughts on the seed?
Yeah, I second that. Thanks everybody. GG all. And yeah, Oops All Loose is one of my honestly weaker flag sets. So I was glad to try this one out. And yeah, it was definitely very fun.
All right. Herbie B, what are your final thoughts?
Yeah, just thanks, for setting this up, and just thanks for just having so many opportunities to race each week. Right, it really is helping, and I'm really excited to try and move up this leaderboard here, and for the Duck Derby coming up here soon. So, thanks everybody.
You said ducks are getting scary good, scary fast. Faith North, my co-commentator, what are your final thoughts?
Well, thanks again for you jumping in on chat with our restreamers and trackers as well. GG to all the racers. Very much looking forward to getting into the async seed or off stream to experience this as a duckling myself. Very inspired by how well you guys handled it.
All right, I'll give big shout outs to our trackers, Maple and Goats Pirate. Tracking a 4-person race is never easy. Of course, shout out to our Dark Moon, our restreamer Dark Moon, my co-coms Dave Inhock, and of course for Final Fantasy Randomizer for having us, and of course for everyone in chat who really what makes it happen and what makes it great. I guess. And with that, the Classic Gamer signing off.